Good morning, my name is Pandora, and this is a video on creating custom fold lines. This is if you have a digital cutter and you want it to mark the fold lines so that you don't have to go over and score them afterwards. I received a question about this on email, so I thought I would answer, and here it is. I'm just going to change to page 2, and I can do that by clicking on page 2 up here. If you don't have the page 2 visible, just click on the plus button. If I do it here, you'll see it says, do you want page 3? And you can select a color for it. It just makes it easy to identify the tab at the top. Because I don't, I'm just going to say cancel because I have 2 pages. So over here, the question I was asked was, how do you draw a line in SCAL? And I thought, well, there's a pen tool. And I have to own up, I generally design in Inkscape, so I hadn't actually even thought about it. But here there's a pen tool, and so clearly you can click on a spot and drag it, and if you keep clicking and dragging, what you end up with, if you go back to the start point, is a shape, whatever shape you've drawn. However, that wasn't what was required, so let's just delete that by hitting delete on my keyboard. If I go back and I click on the first spot and I drag, and I can click, you can see that that's not the end of the line. And I tried all sorts of things, double clicking and right clicking, and none of it worked. And then I just tried hitting the escape key on the keyboard. So literally all I've done is click here, drag across, click once again, and then hit the escape on the keyboard. And it's as simple as that. But the question came up as about how do you do editable lines? Well, I found something, and it's probably been staring me in the face, but since I hadn't looked for it, I hadn't thought about it. Let's just move this across here, and I'm going to change that over to that side so that we can work near this palette here. I want you to be able to see this palette just to the right, and bring the tools back in so you can see when I change tools. Okay, so if I click on a line, this appearance palette comes up, and you have lots of styles, and these are very useful if you're doing blackouts and things. But when it comes down here, you can see we've got a fill color, which isn't really relevant for this because I'm just drawing a line, so I'm going to turn it to none. And down here we have a line style. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types of lines in here, and that's fine. And you could say, okay, let's just click on this one, and if I just click away, you can see I've now got a dashed line. What I might do is just change the colour of this line to a bright blue, just to make it easier for you to see. So here's a bright blue dashed line, and that's fine. Now, next door to the line style colour, there is this little button called Edit. And so I clicked on it to see what it did, and lo and behold, it brought this one up. And what it's telling me is that this line here, the blue line, is made up of a dash, which is 6, I'm assuming 6 pixels, I think, possibly, and then a gap of 6, and then there's lots of blanks. So clearly, by putting the first 2 in, what you get is a line that repeats itself ad infinitum, and that's fine. So let's just cancel that. Let's just click on this line, and again, I'm just going to come across here and click on the color and say none for the fill, and then I'm going to change the color of a line, you simply click on the color that is visible, come up, and you can either click on one of these to get a, I'm holding the left mouse key down and ramble around till you find a color you like, and or just say, what's another bright color that we'll be able to see? How about, let's just go for black because it's easiest to see. So here we have a black line, nice solid line. And you notice when I click off it, this palette disappears. When I click back on it, it reappears. So again, let's just pick the same line. And if I click on edit, you can see, let's bring this back underneath it so you can see it. Again, you can see this line is 6 and 6. What happens though if you want less dashes or more dashes or whatever? Well, the answer is, first of all, select it, make sure it is selected. Come down here and let's say I want a dash of, I don't know, 4. And let's say I want a gap of 20. And click on add. Now can you see we've got more dashes, sorry, more gaps and less dashes. And when you click on this downward arrow, can you see I've now got an extra line here? I can click edit again and bring it up. And if, for instance, I don't even know why you might want to do this, but I'm going to show you how it works. Let's say we're happy with 4, but we only want a gap of 10. And let's say we want a super long dash. I have no idea why, but let's say we'll make that 10. We'll make this, I don't know, 2, just so they're really obvious what I'm up to. Let's make this dash 30. Let's make this gap 10 again. And the line is probably not long enough to do how many dashes and things I'm doing here, but I'm just having a little play. So, and let's make that last one 4. And let's click on replace. If you look at my line now, can you see it does replicate exactly what I put in the box? So 4, a gap of 10, 10, a dash of 10, 2, a dash of 30, sorry, there's a 2 there and a 30 there and a 10. Anyway, basically the point is that you can have any type of line. If you just want it to repeat, you'd put zeros into all of these boxes from the right-hand side, and just what you want in here. If I put 6 back in here and 6 back in here and click on replace, we're back to the original line. So really hopefully quick video. I found it easier to make the video than trying to type out the explanation of how to do that. I hope it helps. I did promise I wouldn't mention your name because you said you felt a bit daft asking how to draw a line, but actually if you don't know the answer, I think it's really hard. So I hope you have a great day. If you do have any questions, feel free to email me. My address, as always, is myrequest@btinternet.com. Thank you so much for listening.